Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of The Daily. It's Wednesday, August 3rd, here with Jason Skeeney. I'm Nick Fershaw. Jay, a lot to get to. We're going to start with Tuesday night's action in the CONCACAF Champions League, and it's Toronto FC advancing to the group stage. They knock out Real Estelí 4-2 on aggregate. Ryan Johnson, the hero in this one.
Yeah, Ryan Johnson got the opening goal, a great volley that he hit, really surprised the keeper. This was an interesting game because the field really played a part here. The grass was thick. It looked like they were playing on a cow pasture. But it actually, I think, played into Toronto's favor. It forced a lot of long balls. Ryan Johnson was really a beast up top. He was winning the balls in the air, and that's how Toronto was creating chances. And really, once Real Estelí went down, it was hard for them to mount comebacks because of that field. You couldn't pass the ball around. You couldn't move it quickly. So Toronto gets by. They got a gift on the second goal, which really put Estelí out of this game. The goalkeeper just basically passing it to Ryan Johnson, and Johnson did well to finish to the corner.
Again, a 2-1 win in this one. That's Toronto FC's first ever road win in CONCACAF Champions League. They advanced to Group C of the CONCACAF Champions League. That'll open in a couple weeks here later this month. Some other news for Toronto FC, and Jay, this one a bit of a surprise. They trade Maicon Santos to FC Dallas. They get Eric Avila in return.
Yeah, interestingly, because these teams could be in the same group in Champions League if Dallas were to advance tonight. It is FC Dallas. We know they've needed a forward. They went within the league to get one. Santos has been a guy very inconsistent, but at times he's looked great. So does he maybe fit into the system in Dallas? Can he help them out and give them some depth at forward? Eric Avila, we thought was going to go on loan to Mexico anyway, so he was out as far as FC Dallas was concerned. But he's a guy who maybe fits the mold of what Winter's looking. He's kind of like a Joao Plata guy who can play on the left. He's a little bit of an attack-minded guy, but he can fit into that system, play a couple different parts, and offer depth to Winter's side.
Some other news for FC Dallas and some very good news. Last year's MVP, David Ferreira, back in camp on Tuesday. He's going to start his rehab stint down there in Dallas. What do we expect from Ferreira's return?
Well, they're talking about a potential September return, which would be great for FC Dallas. It does put Charles Hyman in an interesting position, though. How do you leave the last year's MVP out of your team? FC Dallas right now doing great without him. So is that going to upset the flow? And do you want to upset the flow come September, October, right when you're about to head into the playoffs? So Charles Hyman has his work cut out for him to figure out how to get him back into the team.
Let's take a look at some big news out east. It's with the New England Revolution. They finally have their first designated player in franchise history. It's Argentine youngster Milton Caraglio. He's a striker, Jay, so that potentially is going to help bolster the Revs' attack. What do you expect going forward?
Yeah, and Mike Burns, their technical director, had mentioned that this is something that they need. They need the extra guys, extra ability in the attack. Right now, it's not looking good when they go forward with Benny Feilhaber, Shalri Joseph, and Rajko Lekic. There's not much else around them that's really contributing. So the good thing, I think, if you're a New England fan, is that it's a younger player. We've seen them bring in a bunch of veterans this season and not really pan out. So it's a younger player coming in here. It's really tough to tell from his body of work in Argentina what he's going to bring to the U.S. The hope is that New England scouted him well, knows he's a good player, and he's going to contribute to this team.
On to the action from Wednesday night. It's the CONCACAF Champions League resumes. We talked about FC Dallas. They're up against Alianza FC, the El Salvador side, 8 p.m. Eastern on Fox Soccer out at Pizza Hut Park. And Jay, the Seattle Sounders in the nightcap up against San Francisco from Panama, 10 p.m. Eastern on Fox Soccer, part of a doubleheader there. The Sounders really the only ones up against it. They're down 1-0 on aggregate.
Yeah, I mean, Seattle has to make up the one-goal deficit and really be careful not to give up road goals. Obviously, that will become an issue. But for Seattle, they were the better team when they played down in Panama. So I don't think they're really fearing, coming out and getting beaten on the play. It's really just, can they finish their chances? Can they put a couple goals on the board and ease some pressure?
Another doubleheader on ESPN2 tonight. The World Football Challenge resumes. It's Barcelona and Chivas de Guadalajara. That's at 8 p.m. Eastern down in Miami. And then, Jay, probably the best game of the night. The Portland Timbers playing host to the LA Galaxy, 10:30 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2. We're going to have a live chat for both of those games. And, Jay, the best team in the league faces off against the best fans in the league.
Yeah, the Timbers Army really know when they're in the spotlight. And this game on ESPN2 is the spotlight, nationally televised game tonight. So I expect a lot out of them, but really the question is it enough? Because lately Portland on the field has not been able to get the results that the home fans would want to see. So David Beckham, Landon Donovan coming to town. We saw what they did to Vancouver last week without Beckham, and really I thought they were outplayed by Vancouver, and then they just turn it on and really come after you. So Portland having trouble holding the lead against Toronto. Is LA, it's kind of a similar game to what LA did against Vancouver last week, and LA turned it on late. So Portland needs to learn how to close a game at home, I guess.
Yeah, we've talked about Portland's their success early in the season up at Geldwin. They have struggled of late. They might have to turn it around here against the LA Galaxy. Two other league games we want to mention: Sporting Kansas City at home against Real Salt Lake, and the Chicago Fire at home against the Philadelphia Union. You can follow along on Match Day Live. And Jay, in that Chicago game, we're going to see some new faces in the Fire lineup.
Yeah, we're going to see the MLS debut of Pavel Pardo and Sebastian Grazzini. So this is something that I think Chicago fans have wanted to see, a little spark to this team, see them scoring more goals. Maybe these are the guys who can help spark the offense. And remember, Philadelphia burned last week by speed against Colorado. Chicago has a lot of speed. You're looking at Dominic Aduro, Patrick Nyako, guys who can attack with pace. Could be another problem for Philadelphia.
Well, that does it for us. For a full schedule of all the games in CONCACAF Champions League and the MLS regular season, log on to MLSsoccer.com.